Hi, I'm Eddie Muller. Up next in TCM's Summer of Darkness, we have a film that, despite being the only box office failure on the resume of its producers, would become one of the most influential films of its era. So influential, I wrote an entire book about it, subtitled The Origin of American Outlaw Cinema. Like our last film, They Live by Night, this one also revolves around an outlaw couple on the run. Made by the King brothers and released through United Artists in 1950, John Dahl and Peggy Cummins star in Gun Crazy. Now, if you've never seen this movie, you are really in for a treat. It may be a relatively low-budget production, but it has more excitement and cinematic resourcefulness than a half-dozen major studio films combined. The King brothers, Maurice, Frank, and Jaime, specialized in making genre pictures on minimal budgets, and they always managed to turn a profit. They were outliers in Hollywood. Some would say bottom feeders, but they had a knack for timely exploitation. For instance, in 1946, RKO had a huge critical and box office success with producer Sam Goldwyn's The Best Years of Our Lives, which was based loosely on the book Glory for Me by McKinley Cantor. The King brothers piggybacked on that film's success by acquiring the rights to Cantor's 1940 short story Gun Crazy. Despite his fame as a novelist, Cantor had trouble turning his story into a viable screenplay, which stalled production for more than a year. That's when the Kings realized they could suddenly afford a rewrite by the best screenwriter in town. Dalton Trumbo was about to be sent to prison for refusing to answer the HUAC committee's questions about his alleged ties to the Communist Party. Eager to make some money for his family before being shipped to prison, Trumbo agreed to do a rewrite of Gun Crazy, uncredited, of course. It would take 4 decades for the truth about this film's authorship to come to light. In fact, many of the best things in this script could be credited to Cantor, but it's Trumbo who figured out how to streamline it and who conceived of the memorable ending. It's all propelled by the great direction of Joseph H. Lewis, inventive camera work by Russell Harlan, and a ferocious performance by diminutive Irish actress Peggy Cummins as the sharpshooting and trigger-happy Annie Laurie Starr. Here she is, opposite John Dahl in Gun Crazy. Peggy Cummins was an Irish emigre who was brought to Hollywood by Darryl Zanuck to work at 20th Century Fox in 1945. His plan was to star her in the studio's grand production of Forever Amber, but that didn't work out. After a few years of dispiriting work, Peggy was ready to pack her bags and head back across the Atlantic. But then her phone rang with the offer to star in Gun Crazy, albeit for the lowly King brothers, the outhouse to Fox's penthouse. Film history was made when Peggy agreed to stick around long enough to shoot this movie. She provided her own wardrobe and ended up giving one of the most memorable performances of the noir era. I had the great pleasure to become friends with Peggy, first at the TCM Classic Film Festival, and then at screenings of Gun Crazy I presented all around the world. My wife and I enjoyed a great friendship with her right up until she passed away in 2017 at the age of 92. She was a sweet and humble person who was always bemused, but grateful that it was Gun Crazy that would be her cinematic legacy. Up next, the Summer of Darkness continues with another one from 1950, this one made in England by director Jules Dassin. Night and the City is coming up next on TCM.
Next on TCM, Night in the City, then Body Heat, and later, Night Moves. TCM leaves the light on for you tonight.